What's up, guys? It's JKos or Suko. We're going to be talking about all the movement tech in this game that we know of as of now, and all of the ways to abuse it and all of that stuff. Well, this will be like your one-stop shop for pro movement, not just beginner movement, not just intermediate movement, pro movement. I'm going to be going pretty quick because this is a lot of tech and I have to explain it all to where you can understand it. So I'm not going to be like giving you like press this button. No, I'm gonna just tell you what the move is, and then like I'll tell you if it's a jump, dodge, whatever the sequence of inputs, and then you're gonna have to find like and then like lab it because I won't have time to like explain every single move. As far as like who I am, I'm Zuko. I was in the 4Ks before, and I was in the 4Ks here as well before. I haven't been playing much lately because I'm learning a new character. So yeah, as far as who I am, I've faced like top 500, top 100s. I've even faced like top 5 with their respective characters. I've beaten like a lot of good people. Me and my friend, we actually fought Nakat and Void, so that was cool. And we actually won, so that's cool. As far as like who I am and what like I have to bring to the table, I'm someone who's fought in high elo for quite a while now. So I've seen people who have good movement, and I've seen people in high elo who have no movement, but they're just using really good characters. So I wanted to bring this video out so that way everyone can be better in movement wise, and then it'll kind of take away the trash players out of high elo, because there's a lot of trash players in elo who don't know how to play this game. Hopefully this will make them better, and if not, then hopefully they just get kicked out of high elo. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I guess I'll do it with Wonder Woman since she's my baby. The first thing I want to talk about is jump. So you can jump in the air, right? And if you tap jump, you do a short one. If you hold jump, you go a little bit higher. This is important because it determines your air time. And each of them can be used in a specific way. For example, if you if you big jump and you press the button at the very top of that, right? This, you'll get a button that goes really, really high, right? So this will determine if you get like a button at the top of the jump, or if you get one down here, or if you get like a neutral jump right here, right? So whenever you do a jump, you can cancel a jump with fast fall. You can cancel it with the dodge, right? And you can also cancel it with an attack. Those are the properties of jump. So this allows for you to do stuff like this, neutral aerials, and that's what we're going to refer to this now, neutral aerials. It's whenever you jump and press an attack pretty much one after the other really quickly. And depending on like when you actually hit the attack, it'll determine just how much like that attack is going to give you, right? So this is really important. You can also move back in movement, right? So this is important as well. So if you do a button, right? So from neutral, you can throw a button out, and if you fast fall, it will determine if you are able to like move back or not, or how much you move back, right? So this is all like, see what I'm saying? That's all like just how like jumps work in this game. So you jump, throw a button wherever you want from the ground, whatever. So that's jumps. Now let's talk about dodges. Anytime you're in the game, you have a neutral dodge and you have a dash dodge. You can also dodge in the air, neutral in the air, upwards in the air, upwards to the right, upwards to the left, right, left, downwards to the left, downwards to the right, and down, right. So you have the 8 angles, right? The properties of dodges. So anytime you dodge, you can cancel it with movement, like a crouch, like that, right? You can cancel it with any sort of movement. You can cancel it with the jump as well, and you can cancel it with an attack, right? So like that's the reason why this combo works, right? And it's because you're abusing. Let me just put on. Oh, it is on. That's a tragedy. Anytime you're doing this, the only reason why this hits is because you can cancel a dodge with movement, right? So I'm doing a dodge in between that. That doesn't naturally link, right? So anytime you do a move, you're able to go ahead and anytime you do a dodge, you're able to cancel it with an attack, with movement or with the jump. And this opens up the momentum jump, right? So anytime you dodge forward, you can momentum jump, right? So I'm basically doing forward, dodge, jump really quickly. You can actually do this from neutral and it'll give you this much. Now, remember how we talked about if you tap or hold, this makes all of the difference, right? So if you like tap it, it'll give you this far, right? Now if you hold it, you go about that far. So that'll determine if you get in this sort of lob trajectory. See, it's more of a lob. And this is more just like my fault. It's more of just like just straight ahead, right? So yeah, this is really important for movement. You cannot be a good player in this game if you don't abuse this basic stuff. This is not what this video is on. This is like basic stuff. Like, this is how it works. Now, as far as this is like a little smaller thing, but it's still important. Whenever you do movement in this game, right? If you go in a direction, you get this little cloud behind you, right? If you go back and forth, it allows for you to immediately change your momentum in direction. This is really good because you can actually like microspace really well, and you can place buttons exactly where you want them to be at, and you can do this pretty fast, right? Literally as fast as you want. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The reason why this is good and why this is important is because if you do a move, notice how you don't get that step, right? See what I'm saying? You don't get that step. So if you actually wanted to like make a move, you see what I'm saying? But now you get the step. So like right here, you aren't getting any of those steps. So if you wanted to immediately like move in a direction, if you're like do a move, you don't get the speed going forward. So this is actually pretty slow, right? Compared to it being right here. So if I did this, see how you can immediately start going in a direction? This is a lot slower. So just know that if you move, you throw an attack and you whiff, like you're better off like canceling out of a move if it has like low recovery than like actually running, right? So what I've just kind of done is I've kind of just like gotten used to doing that, right? Where I'll do it and then like do like that, right? Like I'll just do that, right? So that way I can like not have that little like slow that, right? Because you can't reach like how you want to. See what I'm saying? Like I'll do that. So just keep that in mind. If you are like trying to get the movement that you need in order to immediately like start in that direction, if you throw an attack out, no matter what attack it is, you won't get that boost, right? See what I'm saying? So if you throw an attack out, you kind of have to go another direction or just dash out of it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So yeah, that would be that. Now as far as like the momentum jump, whenever you momentum jump, you can like fast fall, right? So we'll talk about fast fall now. Whenever you momentum jump, if you fast fall directionally down to the right, it'll bring you about right here. If you do straight down, you go about right here. If you do directionally down to where you jump from, you do about right here, right? So this is all important because this actually all determines your spacing. You need to have all of these instead of just, because if you always just do this, you'll be hella predictable and people will meet you where you're going to land, right? So sometimes you need to do it and then bait, right? And then like straight up fast fall, or like use it to like whiff punish, right? So like for example, let's say a character has a really nice butt, for example Shaggy, and you're trying to punish it, but you need to get out of the hit first. Instead of you like just like doing this, right? You could always like do this in the air, right? So that way you can momentum jump and you can cancel it again, because anytime you're in a jump, right, you can cancel it with movement, or you can cancel with a fast fall, right? So this is the momentum jump. That's the exact same move as this, but I'm canceling with the fast fall, or you can cancel it with an attack, and you can use this to whip punish people. So yeah, that would be fast fall. Now, fast fall is basically a move that allows for you to kind of make yourself literally fall faster, but there's a hidden property, well not a hidden, it's literally built into the game. We'll talk about it in a second. This allows for you to basically fall faster, but it also makes certain attacks faster as well if you do it properly, and it makes your next movement or any movement that you're doing faster. That's the property to this. Anytime you see the speed icon right here, that means you're going to be your movement is faster. So like if you're playing Garnet, if you're playing Finn and they pop their little backpack or whatever, or if you're Garnet and you pop this, right? You see how she has that same little icon? that means your movement is faster. So anytime you are playing a character, any character in this game, and you do a fast fall, your next movement is going to be faster as long as you have that little speed icon with you, and we'll talk about that in a second. So yes, now let's talk about aerial resources. So whenever you jump in there, you have 2 jumps, 2 dodges, 2 specials, and unlimited normals. So I'll show you one more time with the character that can do that pretty quickly. 2 jumps, a dodge, a jump, a dodge, unlimited specials, and it's unlimited, 2 specials and unlimited normals, right? So you can literally, like, you can have as many normals as you want, right? There's no limit to the normals that you can do, as long as you don't touch the ground. So yeah, that is aerial resources. Now if you have on triple jump, it'll allow for you to jump 3 times if you press special or light attack in between those. So that's a really good perk. Now let's talk about how fast fall. Well, let's talk about Wavedash first, and then we'll talk about fast fall. So remember how we were talking about the dodge property of fast fall, right? So this is a Wavedash in this game. This is the only way to Wavedash, right? So this is faster than this, right? And all that I'm doing is I'm doing a jump, fast fall directionally down because it cancels it, right? And then immediately I'm doing a dodge as well. And if you do it right, you're going to, like, basically like roll into the ground, right? And this is like the slower version, right? See what I'm saying? Like, practice getting it slow like this, but once you get it like right, you can like go pretty quickly with it, right? And you'll know you're doing it right whenever you see the speed, the little speed icon, right? And what this is do, what this Wavedash do, this makes certain things that normally wouldn't hit really, really quickly. And you can do this like really, really quick, right? Really, really quick. As quick as you want it to be, right? So this button normally has a range of this, even if you did it like this, right? But if you do it like this, it'll kind of like add a little bit of velocity to the move. See how you kind of slide a bit? This is hella important for catching people, right? So if you're wanting to catch someone and kind of like slide with the move, you have to do this Wavedash, and this is God tier for your kit. So I know I'm going pretty fast, but basically all I'm doing is jumping directionally, like fast falling down, and then before I touch the ground, doing a dodge in the same direction, and it'll look like that, right? And again, the quicker you can get it, like the less like upwards you go, and the more it's like this, right? So yeah, that's cool. That's Wavedash. Now let's talk about, again, fast fall. So anytime you have that speed icon, your movement gets a buff, right? So you can actually abuse this tech to do something that I've been doing and that I made a video on a long time ago, but no one knows about it. So I'm hoping this video kind of gets a little bit more recognition, so that way people can start abusing this. Anytime you fast fall in the game, you'll be able to make your next movement go a little bit higher, right? So, right, for example, that'll have increased velocity, right? So if I did it without it, right, you really can't tell the difference, right? But whenever you're doing this move right here, the momentum jump, by the way, you can do momentum jump in the air as well, not just on the ground like this, right? You can do it in the air as well. And depending on your character's second jump properties, for example, Wonder Woman's second jump is God tier. It has a lot of like trajectory and it shoots really fast, so that's a really good one. But anytime you do this, you get sent, right? Now if you do a fast fall right before that, you'll get sent even more, right? I don't know if you guys can tell that or not, but one second, there we go. So anytime you do a fast fall right before you do the jump, it'll send you in a direction more, and this will allow for you to have like more speed in that direction. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I definitely can, right? So this is the regular one, right? No, my fault. That's the regular one. That's the one with the fast fall. So if you fast fall and you do this, you're able to get yourself a little bit speed. So I'll show this on the ledge here. So this is the regular one, right? See what I'm saying? It's a momentum jump off the ledge. Now if you do a fast fall, hold on one second. See what I'm saying? You get sent. See what I'm saying? So yeah. Just know this actually works, and this is tech that's built into the game, and it's because you're getting that speed icon from your fast fall, right? So as long as you have fast fall, any movement that you do after that is going to be faster with more velocity. So like for example, if you do this right here, one second, I'll just do this on here's a good character. I'll do this on, I don't really know who I can think of right now. Let's do it on LeBron. For example, you can actually make LeBron's attack faster by doing this. Right, so this is the normal speed of this attack. Because of the way that it works, depending on how high you are in the air, it'll determine when that hitbox is. But if you do this move and you fast fall, you can actually make it quicker. So you actually having fast fall built into your like attacks is really good. So what does fast fall mean? Fast fall allows for your attacks to kind of be placed where you want them to be placed at. So if you do this, you fast fall, a button that normally would be here, right? So I'm gonna press it at the same time, right? That's there, but if you fast fall, now the button's gonna be down there. So you can use fast fall to place buttons lower and make certain things hit. For example, I'll show you another hidden property here. This is your neutral aerial, right? That's me doing the button from neutral air, right? Notice how it's really slow, right? To link or into anything else, right? So if you did the fast fall, notice how it's on the ground now, right? So now it's actually a neutral aerial, and what's cool is it actually changes the properties of this weapon. It makes it to where she has no hit recovery on the move. So like, this is one of the things that's really cool about this game. If you fast fall, not every character can do this, by the way. It's like character specific, but anytime you do a move and you like fast fall to the ground, it'll make it to where you can kind of link things that normally wouldn't be linked. For example, if you do this, right, that normally wouldn't like hit. For example, if I just did it, right, see what I'm saying? It's aerial, right? So if you do this and you fast fall, you're able to make certain things link that normally wouldn't link. So always note, like if a move has like natural air, like whenever you do the move, for example, this move you can't really fast fall with it, but you can aim it, right? But if you do this move from neutral, you can aim it. But let's say if you couldn't aim it or whatever, you can make certain moves that normally didn't have like any like fast falling properties, right? Able to actually do a little bit more like be a little bit more aggressive whenever you're on the ground. You can use your aerials on the ground whenever you fast fall with it. And what's cool is, remember how we said fast fall allows for your attacks to be, not your attacks, your movement to be faster, right? So you can actually use this to actually like to abuse some tech. If you're in the air and you fast fall, right? And you do that tech, I won't be able to showcase this because I would need him to do knockback. Basically, if you did an attack in the air, right, you would immediately be able to like fast fall out of it right there, and you would basically make it to where that fast fall will be better just for you actually even just doing like this to like chase, right? So yeah, that's important as well. So whenever you take that into account, this brings up the idea that G3 like talked about, which was edge boosting. Because again, if you dash off the thing and you're fast falling, you get a speed boost for your next movement, right? So yeah, anytime you do any sort of movement where you fast fall, it'll make it faster, right? So if you just fall off the edge and you go crazy, right, you'll be able to like have that little momentum boost, right? So yeah, just know that's like, even though he like he gave it a name, edge boosting, this is something you can do everywhere, not just on the edge. No matter where you're at, it's all based off of this speed icon, and that's like why, you know, I've been doing this since the closed beta, because the tutorial kind of hints at it, but the tips, like if you look at the tips whenever you're loading in something, it tells you this as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That's basically what the whole edge boosting thing was. It's basically this right here. Right, you can just use that to kind of give yourself a boost, right? Now whenever it comes to edge boosting, you want to make sure that you're dodging off of the edge, right? Because if you don't dodge off the edge like this, then you're going to be in a really sticky situation, because number one, if you do it like this, where you just like fast fall, you'll have a situation where you'll only have one more dodge left, right? See what I'm saying? You won't have another dodge, right? Because you're using the dodge to actually like do the jump. So So if you're going to edge boost, you have to edge boost off of the ground because this doesn't count, right? And that's edge boosting for you. Now, Superman and Batman are always going to be meta characters because they are the only two characters in the game that I know of who can do dodges off the ground. And this alone makes them god tier characters because they really have triple jump, right? See what I'm saying? They're the only two characters that can do that. And that's the reason why these characters will always be god tier. Because no matter where you are, you can simply just press a button and then get up out of there, right? Just that alone. And this is only, like, this is one dodge, right? This doesn't cost you anything. And since whenever you, like, do a hit, or if you get hit, you automatically gain the stamina you use back. So if you get a hit, say I dodge, you hit, you gain stamina back immediately, right? So if you did 3 of these, you just gained it all back immediately. So stamina, and that's if you hit or you get hit. So yeah, and then the natural regeneration over time. So those two characters will always be meta because they can dodge upwards or diagonally up off of neutral, which makes them, and that's the reason why you see these characters in ones dominating, because they're just cheesy. Whether their kits were trash or not, movement wise, they're god tier movement. So that's edge boosting, that's all of that. And the name for this ability, I want to call it JJump because that's really what it is. I don't want to call it momentum jump because there's already a momentum jump. So we're just going to call it JJump. So you do it, fast fall, and then you do the momentum jump, right? So yeah, that's god tier. Use that. So ways that you can use JJump. So let's put this bot. Let's do a special attack forward. I'll give you a few examples of ways you can use it. You can make it to where, like, instead of recovering like this, right? Instead of recovering like that with the momentum jump, you can now recover like that with the JJump. That'll help you to kind of like immediately like get further in a direction without having to spend a lot of resources. It's basically just resource saving because you can do it, right? You can do it and then just immediately fast fall back to the ground, and that'll help you out with that. Another one way that you can use it, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but you can use it here to kind of get sent. Oh, I messed it up. You can use it like that, for example, to get yourself sent off of the edge, because this is considered fast falling, right? So if you fast fall and you do that, right, you're able to get off, right? So you can literally like do this, right? Because that's 2 J jumps combined. See what I'm saying? And that's really good. So you can kind of like use it like that as well. So yeah, and this will be another one, right? So yeah, just know that JJump is really important. Now let's talk about fast fall resets. So anytime you're playing a game, right, and if you can, like, if you're like doing it, like, you need to like be able to reset your specials quicker than anyone else. So this is your priority whenever you're playing a character. And if you're playing at high elo, you need to be able to reset your specials before them. So anytime you're playing a character like Arya, for example, in order for you to like be good, you have to reset your neutral. Reset your specials before or touch the ground while they're in the air. This will allow for you to be deadly. See, for example, like right there, if you're trying to replay your DI, right, you can use like the fact that you have movement to like get to them, but you can only do this if you're actually, see what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't be able to reach them if you like, if I just stayed in the air, right? See what I'm saying? You don't have as many resources. But if you do a fast fall reset, now you have like so many options, right? So yeah, just know that like you should always be trying to reset to just kind of get people to where they can't like touch the ground, right? Because if you can get up there, right, and then use your movement to kind of get there, or let's say if you like missed over here, right, you can use the fast fall, right, to you can use your movement to kind of get over there quicker, right? So yeah, just know that that's a thing, and that's like high level play. Whenever you're using fast fall to reset your your specials. 'Cause certain characters, right? They need those in order to make yourself safe. But certain characters, they're like have a horrible disadvantage state, so they just need to have their specials able, right? So just keep that in mind. Resetting neutral, or like resetting your specials and your jumps and all of that with fast fall, it's like a must-have. And this is also really, really good on Superman. It's like a thing that you gotta do on Superman, right? So if you do this, let me just put him on higher health. You can actually like use that same idea to kind of insta kill into a guaranteed combo if you replay your DI, right? See, that's a guaranteed combo, right? So like you can literally like you can do this and then like reset your see what I'm saying? Like let's say that I'll just do it like at 70 real quick. Just try to showcase it here. See what I'm saying? Like you can do that, so that way if that whiff, you would still have like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so just keep that in mind that you can do that. And I would always recommend, if you are playing Superman, to do your dodge first, because if you did this into this and you fast fall and you do that, right? So let's say you did it like this, right? You still have like, it's basically you use no resources, right? You should have 2 dodges, 2 jumps, and 2 specials. You get what I'm saying? Like, so your ability to kind of like combo people up is ridiculous, right? So I literally only use 1 dodge right there. I mean 1 jump right there. That's literally all that I use in that sequence. So fast fall resetting is really important to being able to play your character properly. So let's move on. One thing that you also need to know how to do is whiff recovery. You need to know your whiff recovery. So we'll just say on Superman, this move has no whiff recovery whatsoever, right? That's why you're able to see like so many people like abusing this, right? And basically all that you're doing is you're just like, this is where mastery of a character comes into play. If you know a character's like frame data, and that's literally what it is, just frame data, like when they can do a move off of hit or off of a whiff, then that'll allow for you to kind of like place a button where you need the button to be at, right? So if a move whiffs and you're still really good, if it's still like really good on whiff, then you can kind of like place a button exactly where you want it to be at, right? You know what I'm saying? So that makes a character more viable and more aggressive than they really are, but it all is depending on your movement. So only some characters are only good if you have movement. For example, like Wonder Woman. If you don't know, like if you don't know what buttons are good off of whiff, right, then you probably won't have a good time with the character, right? For example, this move here, really good off of whiff, right? This move here, pretty good off of whiff as well. And that's what determines if a character is good or not. The reason why Bugs and Velma were good characters wasn't because their kits were like so much better than the rest of the cast, or Finn, right? It wasn't because their kits were so much better than the cast. It's because in high elo, they had no whiff recovery, which means you can do the move and then immediately like abuse movement. For example, I'll show you some cheesy stuff here. You'll know a character has no whiff recovery by the fact that they can like do this and then get up out of there immediately, right? See, this move has still to this day no whiff recovery. That's why I will say that this character is always going to be a good character no matter what they do to his kit. He got nerfed and he's still going to be god tier because he can have no whiff recovery off of his down 1, which means he can do this. Nobody's doing this. That's a very easy combo, right? So whiff recovery is what's going to determine if a character is good or not. So no matter what character you're playing, if you can find a move that has no whiff recovery and it's a good button off of whiff and hit, you're god tier. Like certain characters, like for example Shaggy, he has, after the patch, he has really bad whiff recovery, but he has still really like god tier hit recovery. For example, if you do this move and you whiff with it, look at how long it takes before you can dodge out of it, right? See what I'm saying? But on hit, you can dodge out of it immediately, right? See what I'm saying? So now you could do like this. Hold on, let me put him lower health. So I can show you, like, you can actually link off of this. That's the tragedy. I'm closer. Right, you get what I'm saying? You can actually make that link to where that's actually a guaranteed combo. Let me actually try to make that link. Right, so like that, for example. So this allows for like certain pressure to be really, really, really like god tier. See what I'm saying? So you have to know a character's hit and whiff recovery if you're wanting to be the best with the character, and that's part of movement. So go into the lab, work on all of your characters hit or whiff frame data, and you'll see and abuse those moves and know exactly like your ability to get off the wall or whatever it may be, or your ability to pressure people with whiff or hit recovery. So again, wall tech. Whenever you're on the wall, you have 2 jumps. I would never jump off a wall because that's a valuable resource and you get nothing for it, right? So always use that. Always use this to get off the wall, or use your specials to get off the wall. For example, this, because now all that you use is 1 special, right? And if you have a normal, for example, that like helps you out, like if that normal right there for him, this is like how you should be getting off the wall, right? Because you can immediately do it and then like get out of it. Or for example, if you're Superman, right, if you have normals that are really good that get you off of the wall, then I would just do that, because now you have 2 dodges and you still have 2 specials, right? You know what I'm saying? So like if you have a special or anything that just kind of like shoots you off, then do that, because you don't waste the burn, right? You don't waste the dodge or the jump. So I would always recommend, if you have a normal and you're way down at bottom, for example, just do something like that. Even if it's this, right? Instead of jumping off the wall, just do this, so that way you can get up, so you have your 2 dodges and you have your 2 specials. And that's basically like the essence of that. So I'll show you really quick disadvantage state. It's pretty like self-explanatory. Certain characters can kind of do this, right, to where they like slow fall, right? There's the thing in the game called drifting, right? But I don't use drifting. I just simply like abuse my normals that like kind of allow me to get back without actually having to use resources. This is actually the meta of this game. People just aren't using it enough. And if the move has like really good whiff recovery, for example, like Velma, this is the reason why Velma is actually a god tier like 1v1-ist, and she's really hard to kill. She can do this. See what I'm saying? Like, she just has so much recovery, and even still after they nerf this move like, it didn't matter. That wasn't what made her disadvantage say good. Like, using this to like to get like back or whatever. Like, I mean, look at her. Like, I mean, look at how many like options she has. So yeah, yeah, that's how you'll know if a character's good in disadvantage, if they have buttons that allow for them to kind of hover. For example, Tom and Jerry as well. You can just pick the character up, and you'll see here. See how much he's able to slow his fall. You can just like do it, like bait people. Like, you can literally just hold that, right? So yeah, you can literally just like kind of edge guard by holding this, and then like wait, right? So yeah, that is a disadvantage state. I know I'm going pretty quick, but I don't want to make this too long. Anytime you're in disadvantage, you're going to have to know what specials, what normals, what movement that you can do. Again, every character has this ability to just kind of like get off the wall, right, by doing the fast fall JJump, right? So just keep that in mind, right? And if you don't want to do that, you can just do this, right? If you want to get off the wall, or in his case, Tom and Jerry, he could do his he can do this, right? And he can kind of like frame trap with that or whatever. So you just have to know your buttons, right? Or sometimes your character's like best one is going to be that, so that way you can just like get off the wall, right? And then you can punish, right? So like certain characters just have like certain buttons that just help them get off the wall really good. For example, his side jump, her side side 2 for him and side 2 for her. They allow for you to get off the wall. So just to learn those disadvantage states. And as far as advantage, the edge boosting thing really does help whenever you do it properly. However, I don't really use edge boosting just because I feel like it puts you in a downward trajectory that kind of can get you in trouble really early if people know that you're going to edge boost. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to get down here, right? And then you have to, so I don't know, that's just me. So I just always do this because that gets me where I want, and then I still have my 2 dodges. So but it is good if you needed the boost and if you needed to like chase way out here. See what I'm saying? Right, it is good in that regard because it allows for you to kind of get off the edge down here and then still have like your buttons to like get back up top. So it is something that you want to like use, right? So yeah, that's your advantage state. If you're basically like here, you need to have like movement to like kind of like cancel attacks to where you can make things faster than they normally are. So if you do this, you do that, right? You get what I'm saying? So you need to know exactly like your buttons that you have Right, you get what I'm saying? Like you have to know how to do this, or if you're in advantage state and you do this, doing that fast fall tech that we were talking about, right? So that's good. Or you can just like you can do this and then do hold on one second. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do that as well. You know what I'm saying? Or even that as well. You see, you just get sent flying, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, that's God tier movement. That's how you become better in advantage or disadvantage, knowing all the movement. And one thing you can do is you can actually combine movements here, right? For example, let's say you get off, you just got off the ledge or something. Let's say you did this. One second. Right? Normally you would like be able to like go crazy, right? So you can actually do this and then like do that tech what we talked about, like where you roll off the ground to get the more momentum. So for example, let's say you knew someone was going to try to come back from the edge, right? So you hit here and you miss, and you know they're going to try to recover now, right? So you can do this, hit, oh, missed, I got you. Hold on one second. And then do something like that, right? Or do this, one second. You can do that, then punish way over here, right? So like you can actually like, if you have your movement mastered, right? And that was this, right? So if you do this and you're like, ah, no, shoot, whatever, and then you could punish, right? And make that move slide. So that's important. That'll help you out. And if you do the proper one, which is this one, you'll be even better with punishing. So that's how you kind of help yourself in disadvantage. And we talked about neutral aerials. Oh, last thing I'll talk about here before this video is over is the jump dodge cancel. We already kind of showed it with the fast fall method, but I wanted to exclusively show it like in general. So anytime you have somebody aerial, let me put them a little bit higher. Right, so anytime you have someone aerial, right, and you send them up, again, you want to like fast fall to kind of like reset your abilities, right? But at the same time, also knowing how to do jump cancel chases is going to help you out, right? So you sent them up there, right? In order to get back up there really quickly, you're going to need to be able to do this pretty quickly, right? So that's jump, dodge, cancel, right? That's how you chase. So certain characters who have this, right, are really, really good. Like if they can do it pretty fast. See what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to like, see what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to do that, right? And then fast fall after, right? To get your resources back. Any character that can do that movement really, really fast, and that's the reason why Batman and Superman are God tier, because they can just chase really well, right? Right? Fast fall. He can just get back to where he wants, right? So yeah, any character that can do that, you can literally like go from point A to point B really quickly. That makes your character like really, really God tier, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you can do that and you can get better with that timing, you'll be good. So again, you can always like off the ground, you can use the momentum boost because this doesn't count. This counts as one jump, so you can do this. See what I'm saying? And get way up there, right? And get like into a spot really quickly, right? So yeah, this is God tier. You want to abuse this as much as you can, literally as much as you can. So yeah, that would be called jump dodge chasing, right? You can start it off with a momentum jump if you want, or you can just like do this, right? This one doesn't send you as much, so you can always do that like that, right? So yeah, it depends on how you want to do it, but just know you can like kind of like go crazy with this and get to any point that you want on the map, and then you can always again use your normals at like slow, like your speed to get back to where you want, and then fast fall. So like you can literally like do this, right, to get back to where you want. So yeah, that's jump dodge chasing, and that is pretty much everything for this guide. Just keep in mind again, if you fast fall, you can cancel movement, so you can use this, right? You can use it right here, you can use it right here, you can do it sideways. So like for example, let's say you go right here and you go right here, you're able to like switch directions really quickly, right? So that's God tier. And if you're a Superman, you're even better, or a Batman, you're even better at doing that, right? So you can do this, go here, and then go here again, right? I mean, how broken is that, right? And it's unreadable. Characters are so good at moving. So anyways, that's everything for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That's everything that I have to say. I do thank you guys for watching. We out. Deuces.